Raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. All right, go ahead.
Mason and Zach, just how much emphasis and maybe some pride over the last couple of days of getting back on the right side of the rebounding did you guys kind of put into this game?
Yeah, it's kind of been our thing all year. Last game I felt like that was kind of an outlier, not the way our team usually is. We felt like we take a lot of pride on controlling the glass, getting those offensive rebounds. A lot of times Coach Payne says, like, when you take a good shot, like, good things are going to happen, like, we got to get offensive rebounds, stuff like that. So that's what we really focused on, trying to get back to today, and it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think we got out-rebounded pretty bad in Maryland, so the past couple of days we just worked on it. More mental reps than like physical. We're late in season right now, and so it's more about getting our minds right, prepared, and going into the game with the right mindset.
Zach, it was a pretty close first half, and you're up by 9 going into the second half, but then you really put it away pretty quickly. Coaches will say those first few minutes of the second half in a game like this are really key. Just your thoughts on playing as well as the team did there in the second early.
Yeah, I think those first 5 minutes, something that we've always thought are very important in both halves. Kind of coming out and setting the tone. Leads can evaporate in the first 5 minutes, or they can grow. So we all really focus on trying to take those first 5 minutes and really control them. That's kind of what we did there.
Mason, can you kind of talk about the mental approach of starting a game versus coming in at the first immediate timeout? And obviously you've been a spark plug of this team off the bench since you came back from your injury, but today back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I would say for me it's the same. I mean, I go into every game with the same mentality of doing my job, whatever Payne needs me to do. The only difference of starting and not starting is when you're not starting, you can kind of see how the game is going. You don't get to establish the flow, establish the tone yourself. Either way, I'm starting or not starting, I just like to play. So whenever Payne puts me in, I'm always going to do my job and be ready to play.
Ethan, you were chasing around 2 of their guys most of the day, but for you to get a couple 3-pointers to go down, what can that maybe do for you here as who hits the stretch run?
Yeah, well, it's always nice to make shots, selfishly. No, but it's good. I think it gives us another dimension here. We're already pretty dynamic with these 2 guys. Obviously, the way Mason shot the ball, the past, month and a half. Obviously, Fletcher and Braden are very dynamic, and Zach. So for me to literally just do anything on offense helps us as the last guy. So it feels good to make shots. Just got to continue to be aggressive, cut down on the turnovers, and just make simple plays. A couple times in the second half, a little bit too much. Yeah, I think it's great for us. Hopefully I can keep it going here.
Mason, you guys got down 8-2, and you getting the free throw line kind of sparks things. You went to the line 6 times today. Was that something in your mind today to be more aggressive attacking the basket?
I wouldn't necessarily say like attacking the basket was my only mindset, just more of an aggressive mindset. If I was open on the 3, I would have taken those shots, but I felt like I had to lane to the rim a couple times, and so I was just capitalizing on the opportunities I saw.
So recently, there's been a little bit of controversy with reffing and fouls being called. So I was just curious, from your experience out there, do you feel like there's ever a difference in refereeing from when the game is close versus, let's say, when you're up by 30 points? Is there a difference?
We're not really going to speak on refereeing.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that.
We just got to do our jobs. They ref, we play.
Hey guys, question for you. All 3 of you guys have been on the team for a while. What's David Jenkins meant to this team? He came on to a veteran team, and you guys have been around, but what does he mean to your team?
Yeah. He definitely brings laughter to the locker room. I would say if he's not number 1 funniest guy on the team, he's number 2. But I'd probably put him number 1. I don't know. I enjoy him. He's been a great additive to the team. He can shoot, he can play basketball, and he's cool in the locker room. So he's a great guy.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think a lot of times when you come in as a transfer, you kind of press, I think, to fit in, both in the locker room and on the floor, because when you go to a new place, you want to have a lot of success. And I give him so much credit for just kind of letting things happen naturally and just being a good person. I think above all, when you have good people in your locker room, it's always going to help. And when you add a guy like that who's a great person, who's been around and has experienced a lot of stuff, it helps us out a lot. And I think he's awesome at the end of the shot clock. He's saved us so much this year doing that. So it's always good to have a guy like that.
He's a bucket.
Sure.
Ethan, the last few games you're starting to see more full court presses, and I felt like today you and Brandon Newman were more deliberate, taking it on your own when you had the opening. Is that something you guys have been talking about and seeing in the film room?
Yeah, I think especially after last game, you know, I was pretty disappointed with myself just being passive as far as helping Braden break the pressure. You know, that's a lot of, it's taxing on your body doing that for 40 minutes. You know, especially with those guys at Maryland where Howden was pretty good. So just trying to relieve some of that pressure for him. You know, obviously made some good plays out of it, made some not so good plays out of it. And I think just being aggressive, you know, I fixed a lot of things for us. Just across the board, not just me, everybody was aggressive with it. And it kind of makes you respect everyone across the board. And especially, you know, like them, that's not something they traditionally do. So kind of making them, you know, work for it and giving them different looks, I think was big for us because they kind of showed us at the start of the game like they weren't going to let Braden get the ball. So, you know, it was kind of like either do that or, you know, go sit on the bench. So.
Two more, Sam, and then go ahead.
Zach, you said several times it's not just you. Today, 9 guys with 4 or more points, great balance behind you offensively, and then obviously with Braden on the bench for most of the first half. David with his defense, gave you guys a lift. Is this more kind of what you see in practices? We've got 13 guys that can go into games we feel comfortable with, that they can get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we just got a lot of guys. You know, people look at them just because they don't put up the crazy numbers doesn't mean they're not like great offensive players. Obviously, they helped me out a lot on offense. You know, with their spacing, everyone on our team can really shoot, so it helped me, give me a lot of room. But yeah, it's never really just me on this team. We got a lot of guys that can really play. A lot of guys. Everyone's wearing a Purdue uniform for a reason. We're a top team in the country. I'm not a top team in the country. No, we are. So it's just like I think people don't give them the credit that they deserve.
Last one here.
Mason, Purdue had lost 3 of the last 4, obviously in a rough spot, but you come back big today. What makes you think that maybe you turn things around as you get ready for the Indiana game?
A win always helps. I mean, it makes everybody's mood better, and so we can build on this. I don't think we've necessarily completely turned. You know, we still have a lot of work to do. We have Monday off, and then Tuesday we'll put some work in. And we got games to win left. So this win isn't everything. We got a couple more to reach one of our goals, our first goal of the season. And so, yeah, I think we're in a good spot right now. So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.